Peace. This is a Meat and Potato Sorcery production starring myself, The Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is Doorways of Perception. One of the things that was said by Edgar Allan Poe is, if you ever want to hide something, hide it in plain sight. And basically what that means for me is the way that a trog or mouth breather perceives things and a way that occultists perceive things are vastly different. I can give you an example of hiding in plain sight. Many books that are written from a so-called fictional standpoint actually is occult history. And I will give you the following examples. One, this book is very old, over 100 years old, but you can get it through public domain. That's Religion of the Zulus. That's a book that deals with the metaphysical foundation of the Amazulu people. Now, many people now in the modern paradigm feel that Nkulu is the creator. No, in that book, Nkulu is just the primitive ancestor or the first that came. The actual creator is Nkosi Zulu. Again, you can get that book public domain. The other book that also talks about metaphysics heavily is Indaba, My Children. Indaba meaning Great Conference by Vus Amazulu Credo Mutwa, where he alludes to the time of the immortals such as Numakanda, the blind immortal, but also how some of the so-called what you refer to as Vikings actually came from another star system. Again, it's what you perceive. And lastly, and this is more modern, is The Lord of the Rings. And many people think that that's just fiction from Tolkien. Tolkien is an occultist. And this is very important that you know this because a occultist said this itself. What is Lord of the Rings, especially the third or the trilogy? So what does that do in the children's section? That's ancient history. In other words, trogs, that's something that really happened. Those races really existed back then. And lastly, and this is supposed to be for children also, A Treasury of African Folklore by Harold Corlander, which talks about beings who were underground, Imbasi Inse and Abasi Onso, the black and the red guy. So the reason that perception is limited is because, well, one of the reasons is sodium fluoride, which we know that calcifies the pineal gland. But there are some simple ways that you can remove the crust from the so-called third eyelid. Let Mentor help you. 1, very simple, lemon water. 2, watercress. 3, seaweed. That helps decalcify the pineal gland, because the only way that you're really going to be able to delve into other realms is all based on your perception. In other words, I'm giving you a key to be limitless. And that's really for the so-called adepts, because we know right now there's a mouth breather Olympics and y'all striving, and I got to give you credit. You striving to get that troglodyte gold medal. Got to give it up to you. But again, how occultists and sorcerers put things, they put them in books that are supposed to be fictional. And the reason that they do that, well, 2. 1, so real occultists will recognize it. And 2, if a child does get a hold of it, it will stimulate their imagination. In other words, imagination, perception leads to what? A future occultist. And that is why they do it. Even in the first Thor, when Thor was in the police station, what did Thor say? What you call science now, we call it magic then. Because magic deals with what? Correspondences, astronomy, astrology, numerology. Numerology is occult mathematics. Mathematics is the language of the universe, and also quantum physics. Magic is science, trogs. So perception for the adepts. Trogs, you keep doing what y'all doing. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.